It's been about a year since I mentioned cars from Lamborghini on this channel, and it's that time again. The Lamborghini Diablo GT1 Stradale is one of the rarest and most interesting cars ever made by Lamborghini. If you have never heard of it, it's because this car is very unheard of, and some enthusiasts know or don't know about it at all. When anyone mentions the Lamborghini Diablo, we think of models like the Ordinary, and many variants such as the VT, SV, and GT. The GT1 Stradale is a non-ordinary Diablo from visual and mechanical standpoints. You can't just arrive at a Lambo dealership and buy one like the regular Diablos you see on the street. It's essentially based on a production car, but with a strict race-oriented setup for racing purposes. In 1996, Lamborghini partnered up with Signy's Advanced Technology, a company based in France which is specialized in the design and building of prototypes and race cars. They were contracted to design and build what would become the Diablo GT1 race car to be able to compete in the FIA GT Championship, much like the McLaren F1 GTR, Mercedes, and Porsche GT1 from 1997 onwards. The Diablo needed to be based on a production car with a race setup, and then ta-da, the GT1 Stradale, which mildly resembled a unique wedge-shaped supercar that we know. Yet the engine that was provided by Lamborghini, almost everything, including the carbon fiber body panels, was entirely new. The revival of sports car racing in the mid-1990s served as a reminder of the golden age of motorsport, and car makers wanted in. Lamborghini was one, and its flagship Diablo has been deemed the perfect car to get it racing, the first ever car from Lamborghini to go racing through homologation. Lamborghini equipped a custom-built 6-liter V12 engine with a bigger stroke and modified injectors. An evolution of this engine was used in the Diablo GT and VT production models. It produces a whopping 655 horsepower, 506 pound-feet of torque, and revs to a whopping 7,500 RPM naturally aspirated. This makes this Diablo the most powerful version ever made of its generation. As usual with special GT homologation cars, the bodywork was heavily redesigned and only looked slightly like the original Diablo, with the vast long tail, very deep front splitter, adjustable mounted rear wing, and the pop-up headlights were replaced by air intakes and small lights covered by plexiglass. The front splitter also housed a large oil cooler with a central air intake. The car had an entirely new carbon fiber bodywork and multiple air intakes from the front, side, and the back. The two large intakes just behind the roof section feed air towards both the engine and that aggressive diffuser, and the entire back section of the Diablo GT1 can be lifted easily to access the massive V12 engine. Also, the engine is mated to a 6-speed sequential gearbox, and the car weighs around 2,500 pounds, making it the lightest Diablo ever made. The project was finished and presented to the factory in April 1997. Only 2 units were built while the FIA approved and homologated the car for racing in 1998. One was meant for racing and the other was the road legal version in bright yellow and remained the property of Assetto, which is Signy's Advanced Technology, where it was shown at their own factory. However, financial difficulties surrounded Lamborghini at the time, and Chrysler, who owned the Italian brand, did not take kindly to the rules of FIA of spending more money on the project to build over 20 units of the road homologation models. Sadly, the project was killed off, and soon after, when Audi bought Lamborghini in '98, the Diablo GTR was built, which actually went racing. The racing version of the Diablo GT1 was sold in Japan and competed in the Japanese Grand Touring Championship series for several years until the series folded in 2004. Fun fact, the Japanese Diablo Racer became the first Lamborghini to feature in the classic Gran Turismo video game. It was known as the Nomad Diablo. The regulations of the Japanese Grand Touring Championship were much more flexible and allowed a wider range of modifications in comparison to the FIA GT. The Diablo underwent major changes with mechanical updates to the newest technology until 2000. With 2 Japanese drivers behind the wheel, the Nomad Diablo showed potential by competing 3 major factory teams in Japan, and the road car remained in the ownership of Assetto until it was sold to Mistral Motors in Italy. Whether the Diablo GT1 would have been competitive if the car had got the go-ahead, nobody would ever know. The fact that enthusiasts never had the chance to see it race in the FIA GT Championship or Le Mans 24-hour showdown with the McLaren, Mercedes, and Porsche GT1s is very disappointing. This was more than just a modified Diablo at its limits. It was a stillborn evolution of what it could have been the final model of Lamborghini at its most extreme. Anyways, this ultra rare machine is very cool, and it is important to know that it exists as a die-hard sports car fan with interesting features to examine. A big shout out to Colossi32 for suggesting me to make this video about the Lamborghini Diablo GT1. I hope you all did enjoy this video. If you did so, do not forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button to my YouTube channel to catch up on more quality content like this. You are more than happy to give me any car suggestions in the comments down below. Thanks for checking in. As always, peace out, stay safe, Chris the Radar, out.